It's things like that. It's like that little, it's like carrot on hook. That's getting. Did I say that one wrong too?
Damn it.
It's that little carrot on a string, on a stick. What is it?
It's a carrot. It's a carrot on a hook now.
Just a bit.
Oh, hey, it's December and it's kind of cold outside. You're here with us, listening to Just a Bit Gaming. I'm your host, Ryan Chumpy Crash Reynolds, and this is your other host, Adrian Bertazoy Townsend.
Whoop.
And what up, girl? We here to mash your buttons.
I love mashup buttons.
Mash the hell out some buttons.
We're getting a little sexy right to start with right there.
Well, you know, I missed an episode, so I gotta bring the sex appeal
Bring
right
in
from
the
start.
sauce.
I gotta hit that saucy boy status right from the jump, you know?
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Good
Hey,
job.
I missed you.
I missed you too, man.
Last time that we were supposed to record, I just got tied up at work. I won't go into the details, but we close at 2, and I was there till after 6.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was a bad day. It was bad news.
Yeah.
Something that was out of my hands landed in front of me with the expectation of fixing it.
Yeah.
And so,
Did you fix it?
I did fix it. Fixed the shit out of it.
Well, mission accomplished then.
Yeah, you know, I did what I needed to do. And while I was waiting for the other people to get there that I needed there to fix the thing I was fixing, I fixed a couple other things. So it was a fix it Sunday. And then I went home and just fucking drank. Just pumped my body full of poison.
What a way to forget your day, huh?
Well, you know, I went home and had dinner with Shelby and the kids and put the kids to bed. And then Shelby was tired, so she went to bed. So I stayed up and had a couple drinks and started that Altered Carbon show.
I've heard that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first 15 minutes that I was awake for were fucking fantastic.
Oh, okay. No, I could see. Yeah, that means you drink way too much, man.
It was late by that point.
Okay.
So I had already been up since like 4 a.m. and then, you know, get the kids to bed and then hung out with Shelby for a bit, studied a little.
Yeah.
Cracked them books open, you know. And then by the time Shelby went to sleep and I was like, well, I'm going to, you know, have a drink and watch a show. It was like already 11 or so.
Yeah.
And so I think I say 15 minutes. I think I watched the first like episode and a half.
Is it slow and boring or is it pretty good?
It literally opens to gunfire.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
And then it doesn't stop. The whole show, like, I'm pretty positive that the theme of the show is even in private polite conversation, just people sitting talking, there has to be gunfire present somewhere. It's a very frenetic show. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. But there were moments even in the first episodes that I'm like, I mean, I'd be all right with breathing for a second.
Well, that's good. I like shows like that.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat.
That's good.
And by that, I mean, I was cozy under a blanket with a couple pillows trying to stay awake.
Yeah. A little liquored up and
yeah, you know, just like that warm belly, like not drunk.
Yeah.
Just warm enough, and then under your blankets with one lamp on in the corner, watching a show with your headphones in, everyone's asleep.
Dude, I did that
That's
last night.
the best way to fall asleep.
It is.
Sometimes.
I was on the couch playing something. I don't even remember what now.
Maximum dad mode, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I was just there enjoying the game. My eyes were getting heavy, and then all of a sudden I wake up and I don't even remember where I left off in the game. I was like, I feel good. I feel good and relaxed, and all I did was just click that off button and go right back to sleep. Those are the best kind of...
Did you stay the rest of the night there?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
Yep, on the couch.
You know,
Amy right next to me, she slept there too.
You guys just both slept on the couch.
That's right.
I mean, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been known to do that. The other night when I did that and fell asleep, you know, I ended up waking up about 2 a.m, 2:30.
Yeah.
And another show had started. Or no, it was like on the Netflix like
Auto replay.
screensaver.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
the screensaver, you know?
Yeah.
And I woke up and it was like 2 something in the morning. And the next morning I'm telling Shelby, I was like, because I went ahead and shut everything down and went to bed. I told Shelby, I was like, I'm pretty sure I slept through that entire first season of that show. And she was like, no, there's no way. And I looked it up and there's only like a handful of episodes. And I totally had, which 100% explains the really fucky dreams I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
didn't think about
love that shit.
When you fall asleep to a show or a game or something, yes, it kind of bleaches into your
especially
dreams.
if you still have your earbuds in and fall asleep with the action still happening.
Ah, yeah.
Man, that is just so tasty for your brain, friend.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
That's like if your brain was a 4-year-old announcing offhand that you're going to McDonald's. Your brain is going to simultaneously jump, shit, and start acting up for no reason.
Yeah. I need to give that a shot.
Dude,
but the thing is, you can't think about it when you do it. It's got to be a natural occurrence.
It's got to be and you got to pick the right thing going into it. Believe me, I am a pro at having a couple of drinks and falling asleep watching
Deja
TV.
vu, man. I could swear that we've had this conversation before.
We've probably... No. We've talked about lucid dreaming before.
Is that what it was?
We've talked
but it
about
wasn't that. It was like literally what you just said to me right now about
being a
maybe
pro
it was
with
the
that?
lucid dreaming thing. I felt like I just heard the exact same.
Well, probably. I repeat myself a lot. It's so I can keep track of my lies.
Oh, good. I wondered how you do that.
Yeah, I repeat them every now and again.
Let me ask you though, since we're talking about Netflix stuff, have you watched The Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
No, I watched the preview for it. I would like to watch it.
It's amazing.
Is it? I knew it would be.
It is amazing.
I knew it would be. I love shit like that. And the cast?
The cast is great. The acting in that movie is superb. It's like, it's Coen brothers at their finest.
So it is a movie.
It's a movie.
Okay. I saw the teaser for it on Instagram,
Mhm.
and I was under the impression that it was like a mini series.
Well, it's framed that way. It's a movie that consists of 6 different individually told stories. All different actors, different story, different.
But is it like a 2-hour movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, they frame it like a book. Imagine if you were reading a book that had different stories in it, and each story is told with each story. The only common thread with each story is that it's told with a Wild West type setting. That's it.
I love that shit.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Let's
Some of them
stop
are
recording and watch it.
I would totally watch it again. That movie is worthy of multiple viewings. It's so good. Like, and each one is different. Like the first one's a comedy, the second one's kind of a comedy, the third one, I won't say more about it, but there's some of them are comedies, some of them are comedy tragedies, dark comedies. They're all dark comedies in some sort of way.
Right.
But I mean, if you know Coen brothers and you love Coen brothers, there is absolutely no reason why you haven't watched this movie yet. It's on my top 3 Coen brothers movies of all times. That's how much I love it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so good.
That's a hefty stance to take.
It's one that I will stand behind firmly. I love it. Man, I think we should talk about video games.
Yeah, we should cut all that shit out.
So there's been a lot of drama going on as of lately within the video games industry. Consumers and publishers and games journalism and YouTubers and Twitter, like anywhere that someone can speak out a voice or opinion, they have been doing so. And it seems to be very, very strong lately with the Fallout 76 fiasco, with Battlefield 5, with the Diablo mobile game announcement.
Right.
There's just been a lot of drama, and dude, I can't get away from it. But the thing is, I mean, like, I feel like I'm involved with some drama that I never thought I would be involved with. This whole everything, all this drama surrounding, everything that's going on within the games industry is really strong right now, and I feel myself being caught up in it, like, severely. And I'm on YouTube. I'll play some YouTube videos at work with people who are talking about the drama within the games industry, like these kind of video game news journalists,
right?
So-called news journalists. They're not actually going out fact-checking anything. They're just rumor mills, if nothing else.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what they are, and I'm addicted to it, man. And I don't know why. Like, there's so many YouTube channels that do this. This seems to be the going trend right now. And even a lot of older YouTube channels that I used to love have taken this route. Taken this, let's talk about all the gossip within the games industry.
It's like a ska band I listened to once said in one of their songs. I see the rumor mill is turning.
Yeah.
To try to stop it is a waste of time.
It
For if I
is.
do, it will be on the front page. The local air is thick with painted lies. Truth in disguise.
Deep. Poetic.
Right.
That's
Yeah. They also have a whole song about smoking pot. So
well, I mean, they were probably smoking pot when they wrote those lines.
shout out Mad Caddies.
Mad Caddy Crackus.
Mad
Mad Craddy Dacus. Is that better?
This is a good spot to pop in a Mad Daddy. Well, we popped Matt.
What? How's it go? It's just a bit gaming.
Just a bit.
Nobody's gonna get this because we haven't referenced the Mad Daddy Crackus in like a year.
Now would be a good time to just punch in one of the Mad Daddy Gracchus too. Our theme song is Mad Daddy Gracchus.
Right. The
I'm
one,
talking
the
about
one
the
that we
Mad
only
Caddies.
used like one time that I missed.
after party
The after
song.
party. After party song getting thrown in right here, guys. We got to listen to it one more time.
Ooh, it's a party after party, just a bit. Gaming after party, it's a party. Let's have a party with jam, jam, jam.
So, I mean, dude, I don't know how big you are into following what's been going on with the news industry and YouTube in general, or Twitter, but I can educate you a little bit if you want.
I keep up a little.
Yeah.
You know, it's
You keep up with the bigger things that have grown outside of these little bubbles.
right because you know YouTube and I have never really been on the same page.
Right.
It's one of those things like, you know, that band that everybody loved when you were in high school and you were like, one of these days I'm going to check out what all the fuss is about. And then like 20 years later,
Yeah.
because we're that old.
For me, that
Math.
was Bush. I never understood the fascination with Bush.
For me, that band was Motion City Soundtrack.
Oh,
Like,
man, I like Motion City
No, like
Soundtrack.
that's what I'm saying is I heard a few songs by them. I was like, yeah, I
I never
that.
knew that they were a big thing, though.
They were big when I was in high school.
Okay.
And I heard a couple songs. I was like, yeah, I want to check these guys out. And then like last week I was thinking like, I need some new music. And then thought, you know what? I never went and checked out Motion City Soundtrack in high school.
That's interesting for me to know. I mean, I never knew that. I always considered them to be a kind of an indie band that nobody really knew about.
At
That's really
least at my high school they were big. But then like
I wasn't in
random
high
shit-
school, so that's probably
Random
explains
shit
it.
like that is kind of catching when you're in high school, you know?
Yeah.
It can be like an indie band that a couple of people listen to and then, you know, it blows up just in that school
Yeah.
or that community just because
That's true. That's true.
Like there was this band that I listened to in middle school that no one else had really heard of called Green Day that
yeah.
that I started shopping around a little bit. They've put out a couple decent albums since then, but pretty much dropped off.
Dropped off like they should have a long time ago. Ooh, hot
fuck,
take.
man.
Hot take. That's the thing, man.
Hot take.
Hot take is that's the new Twitter word that I keep seeing all the time. Where
Hot
somebody
take.
wants to throw out something that's
an
maybe a little
unpopular
controversial.
opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Is this our new bit? Is this our new segment?
hot take.
Hot take.
We could definitely do a hot take. But there is one of my old favorite YouTube channels actually does a YouTube podcast / video called Hot Take, where they talk about controversial news rumors going around. They're another one, man. It's just there's so many of these guys.
Instead, we'll do hot cake.
Hot cake.
And what we do is we take an already negative or unpopular opinion, and whether or not we believe in it
Right.
is irrelevant, and we sugarcoat it to a level that we can convince other people to believe in it.
We should do that. That sounds like a good idea to me. I like that idea. It's a good take on the hot cake. Hot take.
It wasn't even a good joke to begin with.
Well, the thing is, the news that's been going around and the drama that's been going around is basically game developers versus the gamers, in a sense. And it's a really weird situation to me because what's happening is we're seeing a lot of big AAA game developers, and not even the developers, but the publishers, who are incorporating tactics to try to make more money or meet deadlines and quotas, which a business does. But they're affecting the game series and franchises that we all love as gamers. And what I'm finding is that a lot of the gamers are just they're fighting back.
Yeah.
And they're fighting back with their wallets, which is the way to fight back. You can get on Twitter all day long and argue till you're blue in the face. None of it matters.
But when you hit a bitch in the pocket,
That's where it hurts, man. That's
Yeah,
where it
dude.
hurts. And it's so true because
I have very sensitive pockets.
I do too. I had Fallout 76 reserved for since E3 when they announced it. I reserved it immediately. Could not wait to play that game. I mean, we've talked about it here. You and I were both excited for it. The
I
possibility.
was never excited for it. I hate Fallout.
Oh, I know you do. But the possibility of you and I getting online and playing Fallout together is really
dude.
it was an enticing proposition,
It was definitely mashing my buttons.
Well, the thing is, I got that beta, and I know I talked about the beta in that last episode. My thoughts about the beta then carried over into the full game release, and like I knew it would. I mean, I played the beta like a week before the game came out. There's no way they can fix half as many of the problems that I had with the beta before the game released. Well, now people are forking over $60 to play this game, and they're experiencing the same problems that I experienced with the beta. I canceled my pre-order after playing the beta.
That's such a bummer.
It really
Such
is
a bummer.
I mean, the game is so unfinished, and it's buggy as hell, and it's empty. Like, my biggest complaint about it was how boring and empty the world was. And that's not supposed to be that way, not for a Fallout game.
No. You're supposed to be able to explore.
Explore with with or without your friends. But there should also be people there. Like, it shouldn't be this empty, barren wasteland. I mean, there is not.
I mean, like, what's the NPC situation at that
no
point?
NPCs.
There's no NPCs in the game.
Uh-uh.
See, that's just fucking rubbish.
And I didn't call that out when I played the beta, but the reason why I thought it was so empty was because there was nobody I can talk to, no quest givers. Like, you go into these houses and loot these houses, and there's nothing or nobody there. So it's just like pointless,
I mean, well, yeah, exactly. And I understand that the point is, like, you're supposed to, theoretically, be the first people to get out of the vault and start
right
on this new frontier, yada, yada, yada. But at that rate,
it's still got to be a fun game.
If you strip that down to a bare bones concept of taking all the Fallout lore and the Fallout play that we have, all the muscle memory that we have for the game, even if they just gave us another fucking Fallout, same way it's always been,
right?
I'd play the fuck out of it. I'd
Right.
play that game. But instead, you're going to give us one where you're the first one out of the vault, and you're going to run into people. They're the other first ones out of the vault. Really, if you think about it on just like a concept level,
Right.
that seems kind of rad.
It seems
get out
interesting.
there, settle the frontier,
Right.
all that shit. But if there's only 7 people in the whole fucking region, who cares?
Right. And,
You know,
and the thing is, well,
Like, instead, give us a real Fallout game, and then you run into, like, I don't know, fucking Grandpappy Forehead Eyes.
yeah.
Some mutated half-human wearing a busted-ass vault suit, sitting playing banjo,
It is a banjo.
in the Appalachian Mountains. I called that shit from the beginning. You
The
remember?
when I played the beta, yeah,
Do you
there was the first
remember?
thing I did was play banjo. Yeah, you did.
I
remember
called
that.
it.
But
And so that guy should have been on the porch and been like, I remember whenever I came
Yeah.
out of Vault
or
76.
mutants.
And
The mutants are the zombies. What are they called? The zombie dudes the quest givers. They have a name and I can't remember it.
the zombie dudes.
Yeah, like the zombies in the Fallout universe that you talk to.
Ghouls. That's what
Ghouls,
they are.
yeah. The ghouls from the old Fallout games, I mean, they should be there alongside the mutants, just something to talk to. There's just nothing, it's so empty.
Right, because you would think that the ghouls or at least like a less mutated version of
Right.
the mutants.
Something. Yeah.
Just anything.
Right. And
It's not like everybody emerged from Vault 76 and then waited 200 years and then fucking suddenly the world is rife
Right.
with mutants and combat.
where were they
and-
to begin with? They're not
Right.
there.
Evolution would have been taking place the whole time.
The thing is, and
and there would have been sects of people that never made it into a vault and still survived.
yeah, I could see that too.
That's where all that shit would have started with the mutations and all that.
The problem with the game is that it's completely just not done yet. And I can't really fault the game designers and developers on that. I more want to fault maybe it is Bethesda, they pushed out a game that wasn't done yet. And the thing is, they're getting a lot of feedback from people who want refunds, who are angry that this game is unfinished and they're not having fun with the experience that they should be having fun with from a known known game series that they love,
Hot take?
Yeah.
I blame us.
I
blame the players.
For what?
For fucking falling for it. For biting off on it and saying, this is exciting. This is a good idea. Because now we're talking about the shit that doesn't make sense about the concept now that it's after the fact. We were all just so excited for a new Fallout game.
Yeah.
That we were like, yeah, actually, just go ahead. It was a real shut up and take my money.
But I don't think the problem is with the gamers. I think the problem is with the publishers wanting to push something out that is not ready yet. This game can be fun. It can be. I think it could be done right. The problem is they did it wrong. And I think they did it wrong because they didn't have enough time to work on it. They had to meet that deadline, that quota, and so they pushed out an unfinished game. You should not be charging full price for an unfinished game. It should go like early access or something at that point. If you're going to push it out early.
I mean, Fortnite still says early access when you boot it up and play.
Exactly. So, I mean, people will, if they know.
What's with that? Just side note.
What?
With Fortnite, is it still early access?
I don't know. Maybe.
Isn't it like the most important game in the world or something?
Yeah. The thing is, like, at this point, when do you know that the game is complete? Maybe at this point, it feels like a term that just says, hey, this game is still in development. This is an ever evolving game.
Just hop in.
Yeah.
Play with us.
If you want in now, come in. It shouldn't be like, hey, this game is a hot new Fallout on store shelves. Buy this game for your kid on Christmas. They got it out before Christmas. So they're taking advantage and preying upon people who know and love the series who don't necessarily follow it on Twitter. And so those people are the ones that are going to feel it the most. I had the benefit of playing the beta and knowing the games industry and knowing what's going on, that I don't want anything to do with it. Same as you. But not everybody is like that. And so I feel like the gamers that do know that and who are stepping up and making their voices heard, and also with their wallets as well, they're saying, hey, this isn't okay. This is unacceptable. You are in business because we buy your games. We love your games. Stop screwing us over with this crap. The same thing with the Diablo stuff.
What's gonna is the Fallout developers, they're gonna just like one day show up, but that's just gonna send a message out to everyone and be like, hey, you guys want more shit in the world?
Yeah.
You want some monsters? How about you buy some monsters? Here's a monster pack.
Monster pack. I mean, anything.
Right.
I mean, you could have early access, $20 to get in.
Here's a $20 mutant pack that you could buy to populate your world. And then they're going to be like, whoa. It's not microtransactions, guys.
They got microtransactions in it too. That's the part that sucks.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so it's unfinished, empty, and I was making a joke that was actually correct.
Yes, exactly. They're another ding on Bethesda and the games industry, It sucks. And the other thing with leading into the Diablo Immortal, people went to the BlizzCon to see and hear about new Activision Blizzard games that are coming out, specifically like the Diablo. People expected to hear about Diablo 4.
They got a mobile game. And they act all surprised that people were upset by that. These people are your biggest fans. They're going to a convention based around your games to hear from you
for the next big game that is in development. What do they want to hear about? Diablo 4. What do they not want to hear about? Some stupid mobile game that is not for them. The core gamers who are fans of Blizzard games are PC gamers and few console gamers. They are not mobile gamers.
Right.
That was the wrong place to make that announcement. I don't have any problem with them making that announcement. I think it's a great thing to bring that to mobile. I think it's a bad place.
It shouldn't have been their big announcement.
That's the problem. They didn't have anything to satiate these
they were just like,
people that were there.
You guys need a new game? Here's iDevil.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So people have spoken up about that. In fact, one of my favorite podcasters, the Not So Common podcast, or what is it? CU podcast, Completely Unnecessary podcast with Pat Contry. Him and Ian did a talk about how they were calling the people who were complaining about this babies, and they got a lot of backlash with the
Really?
gaming community about that. And the thing is, they got a lot of backlash on the YouTube community and Twitter community for what they were saying. They were basically choosing a side and calling the people that listen to their podcast babies for acting the way that they were acting about not getting a announcement that's for them, you know? And the thing is these companies are only big and powerful because the consumers love their product and pay for their product. Now, as soon as you start shitting on your consumer base, that's going to hurt your company as a whole. And you don't want to do that. You give your clients what they want, you know?
Yeah.
And me as a graphic designer, you as a restaurant person, you give your client what they want. The customer is always right. Has nobody heard that phrase before? You know, it's that's what it seems like.
I mean, we don't live in a world where the customer is always right anymore, though.
We do when we don't. We do when we don't. Okay, I can argue with that fact. They are still paying for a product that they want. It is up to you to provide that product in the best possible way. And if you can't convince them or show them that this is the best solution for their problem, then that's on you.
But since the first handful of people that pre-ordered Fallout 76 booted it up and immediately shit and said, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Yeah.
This is busted. I canceled my pre-order. I don't want to play this. All of that. How many millions of dollars has that company made after that fact and after that backlash of people that are still today walking into the store and putting their money on the counter at GameStop to buy that game?
Well, think about all the people who don't know that this is a shitty game.
That's like somebody coming into my restaurant and ordering the meal that they wanted.
Right.
We'll say they come in and order their classic breakfast. They want pancakes, hash browns, eggs over easy, bacon, and a seat next to a sunshiny window. Right?
I'm there.
That's exactly what the fuck they want. Nice hot cup of coffee, all that.
Right.
Instead, what I bring them is a stale piece of toast, half a pancake, and a glass of milk.
Right.
That's not what they ordered. That's not what they ordered. And you know what? You're right. I brought you this because you ordered something that you knew I wanted to provide you, and I should and could provide you. But yours isn't finished.
Okay.
So this is
I
what
smell
I'm
what you're
bringing
stepping
you.
in.
And then they go, you know what? Don't finish cooking my breakfast. I don't even want this.
Yeah.
And they walk out. Then
But they don't pay
more,
for anything.
Then 5 more people do that. And on their way out, each one of them hits 2 or 3 people and goes, I ordered my food and I knew what I wanted.
Right.
But they brought me the wrong thing. And they're not really going to do anything. And then that line of people.
Your analogy is wrong, though. Your analogy is way off the base of what I'm trying to say. I'm still going to provide the client what they want, and it's going to be something that they need and want, and it's going to fit within the mold of what they're asking for. I'm speaking in terms of what I do every day.
Right. I'm just speaking.
I know what they
want.
I know what I know what they want, and I know I can provide what they want. I know what they need, and I can provide what they need. And it's up to me to explain to them why I made the decisions I made and show them what the product they're getting is good. And it is a good product. What you're saying is you're serving something that's completely different from what they asked for.
Right. And I'm not saying that's how it should be. I'm
Right.
not making an argument for the customer not being right. You and I are actually representing different ends of the same point here. Is that on your end where the customer is always right and the provider of the service or the good or the project should, even if it's the wrong thing or not exactly what the client or customer expected, you're saying that you as the provider should say, okay, here's the reasons we did it this way. Take a step back, grow with us.
Right.
Let's do this together.
Right.
I don't disagree with that.
But
I'm not even making
thinking
an argument against it. I'm making an argument on the other end of saying you can feed 5 people the wrong thing and they can tell everybody in line at the door that they were given the wrong thing
And then
walked
nobody will
out,
buy it.
and everybody at that door is still going to come in and take their seat and see if they're given the right thing or not. That's the fucking point.
Well, the thing is, okay, yeah, but they're coming in and they have the option to buy or not buy. When you buy a video game, you can't return that video game once it's been open. So you are already, you bought the experience and you're screwed. If it's not what you expected, you are screwed. You
When
are out
really,
that money.
you should have just bought a second copy of Spider-Man.
No shit. Oh my gosh. No
so
shit.
good. We don't have to.
I mean,
go
I guess
into
at the most you could get like half of your money back if you take it to GameStop or whatever. But still, I mean, it's a situation where consumers are being screwed over. The uneducated, and I say that term loosely, I mean the people who don't know what's going on with this game and the drama surrounding it. So I guess in that sense, the people who are throwing a fit about it and making a big scene about it online, that's going to get back around eventually to the other people who may not be aware. And so that does affect the bottom line, the sales numbers of these games that are being sold, like Fallout.
On a personal level, you know that whenever I game, so very, very rarely game online.
Right.
I play by myself most of the time. I keep it in my living room. I play the game I'm playing. This kind of elucidates in kind of a broad sense a lot of my concerns and trepidations about biting off on online gaming. You know?
Well,
because everybody, my love of Fallout, this show should be called Ryan's Bethesda fanboy bullshit.
Right. I mean,
my love of all of it, my excitement for all of it. And then they announce an online project and it's like, whatever.
The problem is they have never done an online game.
Right.
This is their first foray into that unknown realm to them. They should stick with what they know. And if they're going to try to experiment outside the box, they need to have a better plan in action. They didn't see this through properly. And the thing is they had to have known that this was an unfinished product before they released it. Yet they still
announced that they knew it was an unfinished product.
Then they shouldn't be charging $60.
They made a press release about that at release.
I didn't see this. And the people who are going into GameStop don't see this either. All they see is the new Fallout 76.
A new Fallout game.
And you have the employees back there, new Fallout 76, here you go. They don't care.
Meanwhile, if you catch that employee, and you're wearing your mask and your cape that everybody has, that they get out and haunt GameStop alleyways at night to take out injustice, and you catch one of these villainous GameStop employees and say, "Why did you sell Fallout 76?" They're like, "I don't know, man. I don't fucking play that either."
Yeah.
I'm head deep in
right here.
I'm head deep in this new iDevil mobile game.
Well, okay. To get off of Fallout 76 a little bit, we already talked about Diablo. There's some other games.
Nobody's getting off on Fallout 76.
Nobody, not a damn person, man. So there's the Battlefield 5.
That game's like burping while making out.
That's oh my gosh, yes. Fallout or Battlefield.
Pick one.
Yeah, okay, all right.
That's this whole conversation. This whole episode can be summed up in these new releases are like burping while making out.
I won't argue with that fact.
The mood is killed, and you don't get what you think you were leading up to.
So, yeah, I mean, and that's what people are fighting against. So, another way people are fighting against with Battlefield 5 is that earlier when that game was announced, it didn't know what it wanted to be, and you had people on Twitter who were complaining about it because Twitter is the place to complain, apparently, and they were complaining that it wasn't like a true to form World War II setting. Like it wanted to be a World War II game, but it had characters in it that were, like the biggest complaints. It had women on the cover.
But come the fuck on.
Yeah, they were being ridiculous. But the thing is,
did you not fucking play Wolfenstein 2?
Yeah, no kidding.
What about what was it like Battlefield? Fucking Future Warfare or whatever. All these games where they're going from you start.
It wasn't just that.
You start at World War II and then the games progress to the point where you've got fucking rocket pants.
That was it.
Baby launchers.
They were creating this game.
And you're going, well, that looks future. I mean, I can believe that. But then you fucking put a woman in uniform?
Yeah.
On this,
but that wasn't the only thing. Like they were creating something that was like over the top action oriented, more modern type of setting, video gaming. They were making Battlefield a more of a video gamey type experience, which that's what it is. Well, the community, the people who love Battlefield games, love the kind of more realistic approach versus the Call of Duty approach.
Right. Where you're running in as a squad, or
and you're teaming
true
up.
Espionage, or
and you guys are teaming up and you're working together to accomplish a goal within the multiplayer session. They're huge.
It's accomplishment based instead of
it's huge maps with huge teams,
body count based.
Right. So people were complaining about that, and I didn't necessarily agree with their complaints, but they were. The problem, the thing that happened that kind of, I think, really soured people on this game was that one of the heads of EA at the time, when people were complaining, basically came out and said, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Guess what happened? The game came out, nobody bought it. It is bombing like really bad right now. The game came out, and not even a week later was already half price. They'd already marked it down to $30
Wow.
after 1 week of being released. That's how bad the game has performed. I don't know the final sales numbers.
It's not a bad game.
It's not. What I've been hearing is it's really not a bad game. I played the beta, and I enjoyed what I played of the beta. I had no issues with it. It felt like a Battlefield game to me, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking and breaking enough for me to want to play it. So in that sense, if you want a Battlefield experience, go ahead and play it. But I've also been hearing that they've stripped down a lot of the features that are known for Battlefield games. I can't think of anything specifically, but things were stripped out of it that shouldn't have been stripped out of it, and people were upset about that as well. On top of that, I'm not seeing a whole lot of advertisements for the game. Maybe I've seen a couple. It hasn't been completely like
It's because the studio's already got their fucking toddler arms crossed going,
yeah, you don't like it, you don't buy it.
You know where to find it if you want it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I'm finding this holiday season to be really, really weird. Besides all the drama being stirred up online between consumers and game developers, I'm also seeing a trend in maybe Christmas time, maybe the holiday season isn't the best time to release your new video game, your new AAA video game.
It used to be.
It used to be.
Because video games used to be fun.
They still are.
And now
they still are.
Now they're commentaries on lifestyle and opinion, and it's
getting too serious, isn't it?
It's too serious. It's always been competitive,
right?
But it was competitive in almost a good natured sense. You know,
sure.
Like studio versus studio. You know, the fucking space race.
Nintendo versus Sega.
Ooh, let's fucking get
PlayStation versus Xbox.
Game on. Santa Claus is coming to town, little bitches.
Right.
You know, but it has become and we've watched this happen. If you think back about the consoles we grew up on, how many competitive gaming celebrities did you know back then? How many did you know of?
None. I mean, I knew of the magazines and that was it.
Right. And then you think about these multi-million viewer subscriber, multi-million dollar personal brands of these gaming phenomenons and these guys that stream one game and get famous on it because you can't beat them. Right. And it's so competitive and it is so multimedia and so social media. Right. And it is such an involved process now.
Yeah.
You know? You saw my ideas for this episode. One of my conversation topic ideas was, what are the expenses involved in getting into streaming?
Right.
Because not because I've ever been terribly interested in streaming. I think it's a cool idea, but not something I'm like really just like humping the couch to do. Right. You know, it's
in an oversaturated market.
It's just something that seems like a logical step in what we do. Right. And so the whole world, like you said, is so oversaturated, it's so competitive now that they can't even put out a project like Fallout 76 or the new Battlefield 5. They can't even put out a project like that and be like, hey, this may not be what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Here's like kind of like a going rate, you know, give us, they could Wikipedia that shit. Hey friend, we know you're going to play this. How about you throw us $15 so we can keep it in production? Some shit like that. But it's like a space race or an arms race. They're all just building on top of each other. And at some point, the tower's got to fucking fall, right?
Building what? Exactly.
That's the point. Nothing.
So, okay.
They're building competition for the sake of competition. And the big AAA releases are getting worse and worse.
They're getting worse because they're trying to come out too quickly and compete with these other games who are already doing really well. And I see your point with streaming, and I think that does have an effect on the gaming market, especially the holiday season.
Because everybody's putting out a game that You can't
If
tell
you-
me any one of these studios, not one of them doesn't have the subject on the table of going, all right, but is the game streamable?
Sure. I mean, I can see that. But my thing is, I think they are coming out. These games are getting longer and longer and more in depth, and you require more of your time. Like a Red Dead. The Red Dead is already a huge story, but the amount of things that you can do with that game can keep you entertained forever. I mean, you can literally do whatever you want in that game. It's like a step up from Breath of the Wild. You know how Breath of the Wild you could do anything in. That's Red Dead, but to a higher degree.
Wow.
Red Dead though is doing really well, and it's because of the people who are on streaming talking about this game, and they're not going to be playing anything else anytime soon. They're playing Red Dead Redemption, and the people. Excuse me, I spit all over you. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
The people that are
I kinda
watching
dig
them, the people who are watching them play this game, and they want to play this game, and they want to participate in that experience. They're not thinking about anything else. They're not thinking about Battlefield. They're not thinking about Fallout 76. You know, they're not thinking about all these other games. They got their game, and they're happy with what they have, and they're going to keep playing it. When you keep stacking all these AAA games, another one, Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 has consumed my wife and I to a point where I can't play anything else, man. We literally try to play that game every night if we can. We are racing to get the damn unicorn gun. So there's a gun that you get, but you have to reach like tier 105 in the black market, and it's a unicorn gun, and we both want it so bad. It's got like a little unicorn on the front of the gun. It's
That's
a rainbow colored gun. We are at like tier 95 right now, and we have 11 days left to get it. It's like the Fortnite tiers of trying to get the next gun. So if we don't reach 105 before the end of this time period, then we won't get it. So we've been playing it like literally every night, trying to rank ourselves up to get it, and we're so close. It's things like that. It's like that little, it's like carrot on hook. That's getting. Did I say that one wrong too? It's that little carrot on a string, on a stick. What is it?
It's a carrot. It's a carrot on a hook now.
It's that carrot right here. It's right there, man. And so we're trying to get that carrot. And when we're trying to get that carrot, we're not playing anything else. You know, we're trying to get better at the game, and we're watching streamers play it, you know, to learn more strategies and stuff. We're loving the Black Ops part of it, or the Blackout part of it. So, I mean, it's just like that. So when you stack all these games that are so time consuming on top of each other like that, you don't give enough time for the other games to breathe, to come up.
And you would think on some level, I get the competition of it. I truly do. But you would think on some level, even in a self-serving capacity, these studios would plan their releases around each other instead of in spite of each other. You know, like if they're going to release this AAA game,
I mean, that's a good point. I see what you're saying.
June,
right?
And it's 60 hours of storyline plus basically unlimited side quests. Let's wait, because they're doing this in June, and then we got another one doing theirs in February.
We know this game is going to be popular,
right?
We don't want to compete with that. Why should we compete with that?
Right. And if it means, because none of these fuckers are running out of money.
Well, at this point they might.
Well, except for the ones that are, I guess. I take that one back.
I bet you Bethesda is losing some money right now, and I know EA is. Square Enix is hurting right now.
Right.
They have all of their big releases this year have bombed.
Well, part of the problem with Square Enix is I don't know. I feel like they wait too long.
They do wait
their
too
releases.
Long.
They wait until they're like, you're excited about this, you love this. Guess what? We're gonna do another. But
yeah,
we're gonna wait till you don't fucking care anymore.
Well, I mean, I guess they're hoping for Kingdom Hearts to really pick them up, and I think it will.
Kingdom Hearts will give them a boost. I don't think it's enough.
You don't think so?
I don't.
I think it's going to capture a lot of these younger kids who maybe have not experienced Kingdom Hearts before. I think they'll be excited to get into it.
If Kingdom Hearts 3 had been released when I was like 18, that would be the only game in the foreseeable world that I care about.
Right. You don't care about this new release coming out?
No, I do care. But that's exactly what we're talking about. Is there's so much other shit.
Right.
And there's so many distractions, and so many of these distractions are bombing, just fucking tanking, that by the time Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, I'm really wary of even playing it, because it's been so long
in development. You don't know. I mean, but the thing is, because they took so long, that kind of gives me hope that they took so long, because They wanted to create a great experience.
I'm gonna take another run at an analogy. You had Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Then you had Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts was like Thanksgiving dinner. You know?
Sure.
When it came out, I was just really kind of getting into gaming, and I was hungry for that good game, like that life-changing game. Because I had played through the Zeldas of that generation.
Right.
And those were the biggest ones. And then you had kind of your tentpole releases, but nothing really definitive for me. So then I sat down at the table and just sunk my teeth into Kingdom Hearts. And then I loved it so much. And it was nothing but good memories, good time. I waited for the next one, waited for that next season of Kingdom Hearts to come out. And it was the same thing. It was fulfilling, and it was beautiful, and it was delicious, and just as saucy as it could be. And I was so full, I didn't save room for dessert, and I had some anyway. That was Kingdom Hearts 2. And now all of these AAA releases are like waiting so hard and so patiently for that next big dinner that's really going to do you in, and settling for fistfuls of lunch meat instead. And I'm really scared that Kingdom Hearts 3, once it gets here, I've had so long to bake that turkey for that perfect meal, it may be burnt.
Okay. I see what you're coming from, where you're coming from, but I disagree. I think the interest over time does go away, but I think they know that, and I think they're trying to hit on that nostalgia bug, because a lot of the people who played those original Kingdom Hearts games, that game was, how old are those games now? Like, 12 years old or something like that? I don't know.
Older than that, man.
The first Kingdom Hearts came out, I want to say, in like 2002-ish. So maybe 10 to 15 years. So
I mean, that'd be 16, close to 17 years if it came out. 15 to 17 years old.
So the people that played it back then when they were younger, like you, for instance, they're older now. They're getting more nostalgic towards those older games, just like I do for the older games that I play, and you kind of become a sucker for that, and you're going to buy it regardless, because you remember having a great experience with that, and why wouldn't you have a great experience with it again? They're also they're hitting on that crowd, but they're also hitting on the crowd of people who have never experienced a Kingdom Hearts game. And I think there's a lot of those out there. A lot of these younger gamers, especially the ones that are up on Twitch all the time, who probably have never played Kingdom Hearts. Like my kids, they've never played a Kingdom Hearts. They don't know anything about it. They will probably be I think this game is for them. It's got their characters in it. It's got the Tangled and the Wreck-It Ralph and stuff like that.
Don't give me, I am so ridiculously excited for it.
Right.
I want it so bad, but I'm a little spooked because
you should be.
The market and the culture is trending towards just shit right now.
And but the thing is,
I've come back to this a few times. Fortnite is the most important game in the world. It's not that great a game.
Fortnite, I think, is having a negative impact on the industry as a result of its success. And here's why. It is successful. It came out of nowhere. People will love this game. It's become like a phenomenon.
Yeah, and it's past that.
It is. And the thing is, it came out it wasn't ready yet. It came out in early access release, and it slowly built up to that. People are seeing that, and they're thinking, hey, we can be the next Fortnite. How are we going to get there? Well, let's do this. And then
let's charge people $60 out of the fucking game for it.
Whereas Fortnite is a free release. It didn't start off being free, but it did become free. They had a good reason. Now it justifies those microtransactions that they implement, because you're playing a free game. It's like a mobile. They're using the mobile formula in a real kind of AAA release.
And they have it on mobile now.
Yeah. And it's on every platform, cross-platform with everybody. It does things right. But I think because of its success, people are going to take the wrong ideas from that and try to mock it. And they're going to hurt the games industry worse than it already is with these microtransactions, with these releasing unfinished games, with these, they bought this game unfinished, they'll buy this game unfinished and wait for the patches. Well, no, they won't. They won't. It's things are going to come to a head, and they're going to hit there sooner rather than later. And I think we're seeing the beginning stages of this. I think the microtransactions are going to be the first things to see any kind of hit.
You know what was a really, really promising phase that we were both on board for that should have taken off and didn't?
What was that?
the renaissance of the true platformer.
Mm.
It should have really taken off more than it did, and it got distracted.
I think it's still going. The Spyro just came out.
I mean, it's still trying, but I expected by this holiday season the market to be kind of rebirth platform type stuff.
Sure.
You know? And I'm a little disappointed that it's not, because now all we're seeing, instead of the rebirth of something great, we're seeing the crumbling of another piece of that culture.
Here's where that could make sense. The games industry is trending more towards social gaming. Think about the games that are most popular right now. Like I'm looking at my kids. Fortnite is through the roof popular with them. Roblox is so popular with them. Games that they watch other people play on YouTube and Twitch, those are the ones that they are into, and they're all about social interaction and having a good time with friends. You know, and I think that's where gaming is going, and love it or hate it, it's gonna get there, and you know, there's nothing we can do about it. But I feel like the way that the community is speaking up right now, fighting back against bad practices, I think it's a good thing. I really do. People see it. Some people see it as bitching and crying and complaining for no reason to complain.
Right.
Because gamers are whiny babies, you know, just like I was saying earlier, what people were saying. Gamers are whiny babies. I'm going to come out. They are, but they're whiny babies because they're not getting the true experiences that they feel like they should be getting. They feel like they're getting robbed. You know, if that makes sense.
That's why I don't mean to toot my own horn.
Toot it.
I would wager I might be the most effective gamer in history.
Why's that?
Because I don't ever buy my own new releases. I wait for you or my brother or any one of 5 other friends, roughly 5. There's like 5 to 7 of you guys that I wait because I know all of you will buy the new releases, good, bad, or ugly. And I just lay and wait for any one of you to hit me up going, hey, I finished playing this. Have you played it? And I say, no, haven't had the chance. And you say, borrow it, play it, tell me what you think. And then if it sucks, I just don't play it again.
Well, and sure.
We've talked about this. We should have a spinoff called The Cheap Ass Gamer.
There's already a Cheap Ass Gamer.
There's already a Cheap Ass Gamer?
Yeah, I love Cheap Ass Gamer. They do it, the CADcast, the Cheap Ass Gamer podcast.
No disrespect, Cheap Ass Gamer. I apologize, I haven't listened to your show.
What you are is the secondhand gamer. We established this.
Secondhand gamer, that was it. We've had this discussion.
Yeah.
I'm the secondhand gamer.
Here's the thing, though. I will never be that way, nor will the majority of other gamers. We love video games.
No, that's my thing. That's my shirt.
That is strictly you, man. That's
I don't want to show up to the gamer party and someone have to change.
I love video games. Like, I want the newest and best experience, and so do a lot of other people. And you know, I get these new games when they come out, and I play them. If I like them, then I'll play it through. If I don't like it, then I won't. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. This is my hobby. This is my passion. This is what I spend my extra money on. I don't feel like I'm losing anything.
Right.
So it's not it's not that big a deal to me, and I do follow the industry enough to know what is going to flop and what's not going to flop. And if I have a chance to experience it, whether in beta form or not, I will. And I would like to formulate my own opinion without following what everybody else says. But you can't help but at least acknowledge the fact that people are complaining about something for a reason. You know?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
You know, honestly, dude, I feel like that's a good place to cut this conversation off. We've gone quite a bit on a deep topic that I didn't think would last as long.
I mean, really, I would say, you know, cut the conversation off, but I think this has become the episode.
It has, and I didn't mean we didn't mean for it to. We'd planned on talking about this and one other topic, and it just kind of blew up. But I think it's a good discussion to have because it speaks volumes about the stance of gaming as it is today and the way that we feel it might be going. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good topic.
I dig it.
It's a relevant topic. So,
and even though we didn't talk about beer, we were at least both drinking beer tonight.
I had 2 beers. We had the Native Amber and a Big Brother's Hard Root Beer. Both of them were good.
Yeah. Native Amber we've reviewed on the show before.
I think so.
Big Brother's Hard Root Beer.
It's another coupe.
Coop is delicious. That's what we need. We need to see if Coop would sponsor us. We would just review nothing but their beers for
They
every
make a good beer.
episode that we buy
say this
their
every
beers.
time, but they make a good
They
beer.
make a good beer. Big Brother's Hard Root Beer. This came from Aldi.
It's good. It tastes like root beer with a little bit of kick.
It tastes like something else
What?
that I can't place.
Maybe I don't want to know what it is.
No, it might would ruin it for you because I'm not really feeling it.
It's okay.
It's vaguely medicinal.
That's a good
Pepto-Bismol.
maybe.
Taste it.
I
hit the
did. I
microphone.
just drank my whole
Taste
bottle.
this one now that I'm saying it tastes like Pepto-Bismol.
It's definitely medicinal. I don't know about Pepto-Bismol.
Where can they find us?
You can find all the ways to listen at www.jabgcast.com. That's JABGCAST.com. Also, we are on YouTube at Just a Bit Gaming. I post all of the shows in video format there. What else?
We're on Twitter
We're on Twitter. We do participate on the Twitters
at JabGcast.
and Instagram at JabGcast. Sorry,
I'm on Twitter as Chumpy Crash.
at Bertazoid.
At Bertazoid. We're on Instagram at JabGcast.
Also, guys, we are starting to get some ratings pulled through on iTunes and stuff like that, and it's really helping us out. And I don't ask this every show, but guys, if you can leave us a review or a rating, a 5-star rating, it really helps with getting the show out there for other people to get a listen of us. And,
Has anyone ever
appreciate
given
it.
us a rating on there? Yeah.
We have some ratings, no reviews, just ratings.
How are our ratings?
5 stars, buddy.
Clean 5 stars?
Clean 5 stars.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Turn this microphone off. Let's go eat.
See you guys.